Okay, this meeting, June 20th, 2017, is now called to order. Okay. Our public hearing for our proposed budget for fiscal year 2017, 2018.
Mr. Chairman, there were a few changes in a positive way after our last budget meeting. When we put final numbers in, as I normally would, I went back over revenues just to be sure that I felt that everything was on target. I did find about 5 line items where I made some slight adjustments based on solid numbers for this year and the prior years. In doing that, I was able to project an additional $164,000, I think, in potential revenue. Also then, in doing the final adjustments with the constitutional offices and calculating the reimbursement from the compensation board for those salaries, that was a sizable increase there. It was about $360,000. So I think the last time we met, we were showing a proposed deficit of about $1.1 million. And with all the changes that were made, it brought it down to about $700,000, just a little over $700,000 proposed deficit for the next following year. This is a proposed budget. This is not the final version. There may still be some little tweaks or changes that need to be made. So, but this is as close as we could get it at this point in time for public comment.
Well, I guess we're open for public comment.
My name is Rachel Helton. I'm the development director at the Health Wagon. So first of all, I appreciate you all having me here. Teresa could not be here. She's in Philadelphia at a conference. So I told her that I would be honored to come and speak to you guys just a little bit about the Health Wagon and our funding request to you all, and what the funding would amount to in terms of Lee County residents get services with our organization. So first of all, I want to hand you the 2016 annual report from the Health Wagon, and it's got some good statistics and demographics that that you'll be able to see from all of the 6 counties. We serve, we're the only safety net clinic, free clinic that serves Lehigh, Scott County, City of Norton, Dickinson, Buchanan, and Russell. So we serve a 6-county service area with medical, acute, and chronic disease management for uninsured, underinsured people with basically catastrophic health plans that can't afford the deductibles, and the people who are just underserved in the area, from children all the way up to adults. And so I'll go ahead and give this to you first. The Lee County RAM project, I wanted to touch base on it because it's been a relatively new project that we are so thankful to partner with RAM and provide to the Lee County area. Just want to talk about the 2016 RAM numbers in terms of just Lee County only. And we do RAM in other counties, but these numbers are just for Lee County only. Dental, 260 patients, medical, 171 patients, vision, 228 patients. So total patients from RAM Lee County were 522. In terms of, now these costs are provided when we speak of RAM, these services are rendered at no cost to the patient. These services are rendered completely free. They can come as long as they get in line at the appropriate time, first come, first serve. So in terms of dollar value of the medical care provided, dental, $206,588. Medical services, $31,001. Vision, $61,550, with the total cost for the RAM impact being around $299,139. How we value the donations that's giving to us is every dollar given to the health wagon can render $100 in medical services. So our request was for $5,000, so that would in turn result in the health wagon being able to provide to Lee County $500,000. And we currently have a Lee County brand budget. We've got about 38,000. I think I'll check BB&T today. We've got about 38,000. We are right now focusing on Wise County for July, but then Lee County will be coming up next because, as you all know, it's in the fall. So we are currently fundraising, working with all the health systems, working with all the community-based organizations, working with faith organizations, and we received a lot of the patients from Lee County are more towards the Wise County area, but the total number of Lee County patients seen in the past year was 278. I calculated each zip code, and so and that is in addition to RAM. That is not included. We've got operation numbers 278, and RAM is a completely different statistic. So I do appreciate you all. If you all could consider the donation, it would be well spent. We're happy to, as long as we can, as long as we have the operating costs to cover the services. We're glad to provide the services. A lot of folks come in for acute, strep, flu, different types of things, but the one thing that we're able to do, it's very expensive to have tertiary care. A lot of people in this area, they have to go to Kingsport or Johnson City or even Kentucky to receive any type of specialty care, or I call it tertiary care. And for indigent people, that's hard. That's a tough trip. So we're able to do behavioral health and the tertiary care by telemedicine to save them money too. So if they can get to our clinic or our mobile site that we can, and you all can request the mobile site at any grocery store, downtown Lee County, wherever you want that you think it would be beneficial to your patients, and we can bring the mobile unit to you if the patients can't get to us. So just know that you always have that flexibility to give us a call and say, hey, I think on Thursdays you all could come down here and get a few patients on the 1st and 3rd of the month at whatever gas station or grocery store or what have you. So Mr. Poe, I appreciate you reaching out to us and our organization. We are very thankful. We've been blessed to, most of our donations come from, we were on 60 Minutes a few years ago, so a lot of our donations come from different areas, but we've been blessed by local government in the counties that we serve too, that really help us out, and that money is very appreciated, and it is local money, and it's a lot of local people working at the clinic, and so we do appreciate everything that you all can do for us.
I don't know if y'all have any other questions. I know at our last budget meeting, you all requested that someone from the health wagon come and address their request, since it was a new request.
Yeah, the numbers, because we was
Right.
curious as to how many, that it served in the county, and that's actually probably bigger than I anticipated.
Yeah,
Especially the RAM and the size of the RAM. If you put both those together, you're talking close to
Right, and
800.
some people will check out, they'll actually check out of RAM without their paper, and if they check out without, if they walk out with their paperwork, then we can't count them as a patient. So that's the papers that we have in the clinic at this time.
Not everyone that comes to the RAM clinic will be from Lee County, because
That's also true.
some people, if they don't want to get all their teeth pulled at the same time, they'll follow 2 or 3 clinics to get the work done progressively. But I have noticed the past 2 years that it seems that the Lee County contingency of the patients is higher than what it was the first year.
Mm-hmm. And it's also, from the operational part, it's one of the most light events because it's in the fall and it's not so hot like the July one. So it's you have a lot of county support. I mean, I'm not just talking about the RAM and the health wagon. You all have a lot of people that pull together and put food together, and people who donate water, and your all's county really gets behind it, and that's an important thing to make something like this happen. So my name's Rachel. If y'all have any questions, I'd be glad to answer them. If you don't, feel free to distribute the annual reports. The big things we've got coming up right now are just the 2 RAM events. We just completed the Army Readiness Training event where the Army came. We had a 2-star general and 61 members from the Army came down, and it was a training event for them to be able to respond to a large capacity of people at one time. And so we were able to perform that training event. It was very beneficial, and we got to meet some wonderful people. So I appreciate y'all having me. I hope to be able to come back after RAM, give a good report after October. So I don't know when the next meeting will be after October, but if you just want to send Teresa or I an email, we'll be glad to come back and just do like a RAM recap for you all.
Anybody have any questions?
No. Thank you. I think it's a wonderful thing that you do.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Good evening. I'm Woodrow Grizzle. A lot of you already know that, but I appreciate you all having this meeting, and I appreciate the opportunity to come before you. I have a couple of questions that are also related to healthcare matters. And looking over the budget, I noticed there is a line item for expenditures on health and welfare, and there's some other things in here, some related expenses. Well, I don't know that they're related. There's interest and earnings, miscellaneous revenues, that sort of thing, on both sides of the equation. And I wondered if there are going to be any expenditures in this 2017-2018 budget that go to the hospital authority or to the new hospital or AmeriCorps.
There's no funds budgeted.
Okay, all right. So my follow-up to that was if you could give me an update on the status of the $1.7 million loan.
It's been extended.
Okay.
It will be due next April.
Okay, all right. That's it. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you all again. I appreciate it.
We need to close public hearing before we make any motion.
Yeah, you can't, well, you're talking about,
Public expression.
what type of motion are you talking about?
On this health wagon, we just add that in.
Oh, okay, yeah, you could go ahead and do that tonight. Or what I was gonna ask, later in the meeting, the joint meeting with the hospital authority will not be happening. The hospital authority will be meeting Thursday night, but they're not requesting a joint meeting at this time. I was gonna suggest that we may come back on Thursday to do some final tweaks and adjustments on the budget. So if you wanna deal with it then, or if you wanna go ahead and have a motion on it tonight, either way, it doesn't matter. But
We discussed it Thursday.
I just want to make sure you weren't going to make a motion to adopt the budget, because we can't do that for 7 days.
Okay, then, I guess we can move on to departmental reports. Treasurer's report. Guess we have no public expression.
But you might have to ask just to make sure.
Just cover the base.
We need a motion to close the public hearing.
No, Chairman can close the public hearing. he's already done that.
Okay, how about public expression?
Don?
All right, then we'll move on to approval of minutes from May 9th, 2017 recess meeting, May 16th, 2017 recess meeting, May 23rd, 2017 regular meeting, June 2nd, 2017 recess meeting.
I make a motion, we approve the minutes as presented.
Got a motion, do we hear a second?
Second.
Got a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, payroll reports. Approval of disbursements.
Motion, we pay the bills.
Got a motion to pay the bills. Got a second?
Second.
All right, we got a second. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, supplemental appropriations.
Mr. Chairman, in that section there under finance, the first 2 pages that you have there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, actually 6 supplemental appropriations being requested. The 3rd page of that is actually a budget transfer. That's not a supplement, but we're just requesting a transfer of funds from the miscellaneous category to a couple of line items, one advertising under the Board of Supervisors and one civil jury duty payments. We did not budget anything. We hadn't had any civil jurors in a few years, so that caught us by a little bit by surprise this year. But just those would need to be dealt with. Well, you could make one motion for all of them, but it'll be broken down in the minutes. The budget transfer will be a little bit different than a supplemental appropriation. Just wanted you to be aware of that.
I make a motion, we approve supplemental appropriations, including the transfers, budget transfers.
Okay, we got a motion.
Second.
Got a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, now to old business, United Way funding request for the Ignite program.
I had, the board had asked to get a little bit more information about that. If you recall, United Way sponsors a youth career day that'll be coming up in September of this year. It's for 7th graders, and also have some other career-oriented programming for the service area that they have, which includes several counties in Northeast Tennessee and Southwest Virginia, Lee County being one of those. And they made a request last month for $2,500 in funding to help with that. I'd hoped to be able to get in touch with them in time to have someone to be here, but with scheduling and making contact, I didn't get up with them to make that request in time. I did talk to them today. As of right now, all the localities in their service area intend to send their 7th graders to this. And the numbers they have for Lee County at this point in time, they expect 237 students from Lee County to attend that event in September. They've gotten preliminary report from the school system that they will be sending them. I think in Lee County, they're going to send them on 2 separate days. One of the schools, which is sending a fairly large group, not quite half of that amount, but close to that, will be going on the first day of the event, and then 2 other schools will be sending on the 2nd day of that event. Also, was at well, it's a planning meeting that the Chamber of Commerce was doing on another event, but they discussed this themselves. They've been asked to support this, the Chamber of Commerce. I'm not sure that they're be putting any financial resources toward it, but trying to promote it in this area. And also, I do know that Wilderness Road State Park intends to have a booth at the event. And if you read the material last month, they try to have, it's basically a job fair for 7th graders who, not to get them a job, but to get them interested in various vocations, and give them a 5-minute sort of a crash course or a unique way of presenting what a job actually represents. Some of the examples they gave, one that I remembered was that as far as electrical power and working for a utility company like that, they have a mock telephone or power pole there and do climbing routine and show them how that's done. Involve the students in it, engage them in it a little bit, try to pique their interest. So they had requested a $2,500 donation from the county. I'm sure they would accept any amount up to that. For $2,500, there were certain things that you got. You could have a booth there yourselves and different things, but if you do want to contribute to it, I'm not trying to tell you not to give them $2,500, but I think they would accept any level of donation to help support that.
Discuss that Thursday too.
Further discussion on that on Thursday.
All right.
That's good with you all.
Excuse me.
Okay, we'll go on to new business with board appointments.
I'll make a motion that we table this Lonesome Pine office on youth until school starts back. I had talked with Michelle Warner about the fact that we needed 2 kids. It'd be hard to recruit them while school's not going on, so I think when school starts back, we need to get 2 upcoming seniors to fill those 2 appointments.
Okay, motion to table. Second. All in favor?
You want those on the September agenda, that way,
Yeah.
school will start back in August, but it may not give you enough time to actually talk to them, so we'll put that on the September
That'd
agenda.
be good.
Yeah.
Okay, next one is Community Services Board, 2 members.
We received a letter from Susan Widener requesting that she be reappointed, was interested in serving in that position, and I don't know about Junior Roberts. Have you received anything?
I think, was it in the FYI last month?
I think we had one from her too. I believe we had one from both of them.
Come in at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I make a motion that we reappoint Susan Widener and Judy Roberts to the Community Services Board.
I'll second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, on the Lonesome Pine Regional Library.
Ruth Gillum, would like to continue to serve.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Mountain Empire Regional Business Incubator.
I make a motion that we reappoint Paul Johnson to that.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, on Southwest Regional Recreation Authority, I'm no longer gonna be serving on that board, so I would like to nominate Jack Hall to serve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I have a vacancy with the Dryden Water. Oh, is this? Yeah. Chris Barney passed away. Yeah. Yeah. a couple weeks ago. And I'd like to nominate Bill Mullins to serve in his absence.
What was that for, John?
Dryden Water Authority. Check with the other members, and he's acceptable to them, and I think he'd be a good one.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, next we got approval of a 6-year plan and construction budget.
There's a resolution in your packet on that. It's resolution 17-005.
Make a motion, we approve 17-005 resolution.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, workforce development area subsequent designation.
As stated in the memo, for many years, Southwest Virginia Workforce Development Area has provided workforce training and related services to the Coalfield region counties. Legislation that was adopted in 2014 now requires that they submit an application to the governor's office for continuing designation in order to operate in this region and cover the localities in the region. There's a proposed consortium agreement that was included in your packet that covers all of the participating localities: Buchanan, Dickinson, Lee, Russell, Scott, Tazewell, and Wise counties, and the city of Norton. And they need approval from all of the participating localities before they can submit their application to the governor. This will not change or alter workforce development in this region, but it is a requirement due to the new legislation.
Does this need to be done by the chair? It's gonna be a sign sheet since it's just got one line.
Yeah, the chair will sign off on the document if it's approved.
It's the very last page right before D.
Right, yeah, it will be signed by the chair.
No.
No?
I think that's for the people that's on that board.
No, this agreement is the agreement of the localities.
Okay.
Each locality has to sign off on this. Each one will, basically what they'll have is each county will submit one with their county signed, and then they'll pull them all together with all signatures showing that every county has signed off as it's submitted to the governor. I think that's correct. I'm sure it is, otherwise they have no way of knowing that we've approved it unless they have a signature from the locality. I'll double check with the leader to make sure, but
I signed it.
no, you signed off on their waiver request, what you signed previously
No, I signed this at the last meeting.
at the last Clio meeting.
Yes.
It hadn't been locality
Well,
approved?
let me explain.
Okay,
That was pending upon approval.
oh,
Because they
okay,
had all of us there.
Okay.
okay,
And, I mean, I don't think DD has to sign anything, really.
Okay. we can double check.
You can ask the lead about it.
Okay.
Makes sense.
I actually had to go to Duffield this morning.
Okay.
About 10 documents.
I think this has had them confused as much as it has the rest of us, because it's never had been done before. It's just been a continuing agency, and all of a sudden, on short notice, we were all asked to reconsider it. So,
I think all she needs from you is an approval.
Okay.
That we did approve it.
okay,
But you can call her, double check me.
I'll double
I've been
check.
wrong before.
okay.
So do we need to make a?
Still need a motion
Yeah,
to approve.
Okay.
yes.
I'll make that
You
motion.
Make the motion, got a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. New dumpster quotes.
A little bit late getting our quotes in this year. We usually wait until year end, but we usually try to get this done in May. Gary got quotes from 3 different styles of cans. He couldn't get a third company to quote, but had two companies that quoted for 16 new dumpsters. Mid-State Equipment submitted a bid on two different brands. One is the Rudco 8-yard front-load slant top at $16,244. These are delivered prices. They also submitted price on 16 American 8-yard at $14,006. And then Municipal Equipment submitted one for BWE front-load containers, $14,480. After review of the quotes and the container specs, Mr. Collinsworth believes that the best quote is for the BWE containers, even though they are $474 higher. He looked at the American containers, he looked at them online. He does not, based on the specs and things they've given, they do not appear to be as well built as the BWE containers. We have purchased containers in the past that required modifications to fit the arms on our front loader trucks, and he knows for a fact that Municipal Equipment, these BWEs we bought last year, there were no modifications required, so we know they'll work from day one. So his recommendation, and I would agree with him, is to make the purchase from Municipal Equipment.
I would agree. I think after you work on 16 containers, you probably have more than $474 in.
Yes.
I make a motion that we accept the bid from Municipal Equipment at $14,480 for 16 front-load slant top containers.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we have no attorney here tonight, so we won't have a report from the attorney. All right, next we got reports and recommendations of the county administrator.
Again, I am requesting that you go ahead and meet on the 22nd so that we finalize budget matters. Budget adoption can take place as early as next Tuesday, the 27th. You all can select the day that you want to do it. I would remind you, the VACO Districts 12 and 13 regional meeting will be in Washington County, halfway between Abington and Bristol, at the Washington County offices. It's actually there at exit 14. It is almost in Abington. On the 29th, that runs from 6 to 8 o'clock. I don't know how many of you, I gave you that information earlier. I don't know how many of you plan to attend. If several of us are going, then we need to make travel arrangements as far as how many vehicles we'll need and things of that nature. So you need to let me know, and they like to have some idea of how many people are going to be there so they know how many sets of materials to have ready.
What do you need to know by that? 22nd be good? Sure.
Yeah, if you can tell me Thursday, I think that'll be fine. That'll give them enough time.
Week.
Now, our meeting on the 22nd, what time's hospital meeting?
The hospital meeting, I'm not really sure at this time what time they're meeting, since it's not a joint meeting. Originally, they had planned to meet at 5:30 and in closed session, and then come out at 6:30 or 7 into a public session. But I'm not really sure if you want to meet, say 5 o'clock or so. I don't anticipate that this budget meeting will take that long. There's just a few issues I want to make sure we're clear on and that we've got straightened out.
Well, I know you and I and Larry usually try to attend those. I just didn't know if it was something that we needed to attend.
Yeah, well, I think it'll be interesting.
Yeah, it'll be okay.
I'd sort of like to be
Let's
there.
let's set our meeting to where we can attend that meeting.
Okay.
I mean, if that's all right with everybody else, because it is something we need to attend.
That's next Thursday,
This coming Thursday.
this coming Thursday.
Yeah, I think Nathan will probably be the one that's hard to press for time to get here, as far as what time he can get here in the afternoon, so.
What time are y'all wanting to meet? No, I'll be good. If you need a little meet early Thursday, I'll be good.
Okay. You want to meet at 4:30?
That works for me. How about you all?
That way, even if we're here an hour, we'll be out by 5:30. So, and I don't think it'll take an hour.
Or just you all going on up to the hospital thing?
Well,
Or is the whole board going?
it's not a joint meeting, but you're welcome to attend. The only,
Wayne, I know I'm not supposed to interrupt y'all, but they announced, their public announcement was for 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock,
Yeah.
okay, okay. I wasn't sure what they finally decided on, because I
Yeah, it
hadn't
had
gotten
bounced
any,
around a little bit.
I hadn't gotten any follow-up, so I
And
didn't
that'll
know.
That's what
probably
they put on
change
there.
between-
Okay.
That'll probably change between now and Thursday.
But they have 6 on their Facebook page.
So, our meeting will be 4:30.
I think that's what
Conference
y'all.
room?
Yes, we'll just meet in the conference room. The only other item that I've got tonight, unfortunately, was bad news and good news. We had a break-in over at the transfer station property Sunday afternoon. This was our property and school board, the bus shop, some of their, not the bus shop proper, but the maintenance building. They broke into the central garage. They took several tools, not really hand tools, bigger items, big ticket items. They took his code scanner. They also stole the old pickup, the one that we were looking to replace this coming year. They used it to hitch the trailer, a small trailer to it, and stole our Skag mower, which comes at a very bad time of year when we're in mowing season. Gary called. They do have some video. It's pretty well planned out. Burglary. The only man that's visible the whole time he's over there is one person. He had a mask on. He did remove it briefly at one period in time to steal some food and ice cream that they had over there for the trustees, and stole some ice out of our ice machine to pack it in a cooler. And when he did, he was eating some, and he lifted his mask momentarily, and they did get a little bit of video with the person like that. First video surveillance is at about 2:30 in the afternoon. They didn't leave the property until 9:30 that night and made sure it was dark before they came out. Gary called me about 10 minutes before the meeting. They have found the pickup truck in Pennington Gap abandoned out there, across the railroad tracks out on the west end of town there. So he's gone out to pick it up. That's a pretty good indication. We assumed that everything had probably left the state already, but that may be a good indication that it's still here. So I don't know if we'll be able to recover anything else or not, but at this point in time.
Was the trailer there?
No, just the truck, just the truck. By Thursday, I hope to have a little better information. We don't necessarily have to buy everything back right away, but the mower is a key component right now. If this had been wintertime, we wouldn't worry about it, but they're going to get behind on their mowing schedule in a hurry. He's already got a price on a new mower and a trailer. But they also stole some items from the PSA building that's over there on the property. So, like I say, spent about 7 hours over there on Sunday afternoon. So, just want to make you aware of that. I'll have more information as far as items that we feel like we may need to go ahead and try to repurchase Thursday, unless they may make some headway in recovering some of this since they found the truck.
Did they go through the gate?
Yes, there was a key to the gate on the key ring with the truck key, so they let themselves out. We expect that they walked in. And that's all I have.
Okay, I'd say at this time, then we will recess until,
I don't know if the board members have any reports or not.
you did?
Yeah, I got something else. Mr. Harris came up and I talked to him outside, and he was talking about the fact that they're doing those donuts down there in the parking lot at the pool. And he said it's in bad shape, rutted out and stuff, so
Okay, I'll put that on Gary's list.
Yeah.
You know, years ago, when they had money, VDOT would go up there and complimentary grade that parking lot for us every year, but they're not allowed to do that anymore because it's private
They are
county property.
going to sit there, they are coming up there and doing that, and, but, you know, the police, the deputies have been aware of that, told about that down there, but, you know, how that is, so, catching them doing that.
we discussed this before about putting up some kind of gate there, and I know you can't gate the road,
Yeah.
but what about the parking lot?
Be big.
We could, it would take a lot to gate it. I mean, you'd have to basically build some fencing and put gates in, because that's a pretty wide opening right there.
Right.
And,
Now, you know, if they're doing them, don't they're slinging rocks.
they
in the
do it
pool.
every year. They
I
do it
know.
every year.
I know, that's why. I'm saying-
Unfortunately, and I hate to even say this, but if we put a fence up, they'd probably tear it down.
Then maybe we need a camera.
Well, we thought about that too.
Camera might be.
Yeah.
I tell you though, Dan, you're right, you'd have to build that.
You
and
have
then
to
put-
I know
close
it's
in
wide.
from the sides and
Yeah,
then
it's
put a
wide.
gate in the center of it. It's the only way that you can contain
All right, I'm good.
Any more reports? Okay, now then, we can recess until June 22nd, conference room at 4:30 p.m.
Second.
All in favor?
Uh,
Any opposed?